Welcome back to Crypto Comics, all you beautiful, beautiful people in Webtown. You are looking lovely today. And speaking of lovely, I want to talk about this gorgeous Turok Dinosaur Hunter #1 chromium cover from Valiant Comics. Now, as all you loyal watchers know, I've actually written a story for a massive Native American comic book called Legends of the Lone Wolf. It is an 80-page anthology. I have written 38 of those pages and teamed up with an incredibly talented young Malaysian artist by the name of Munir. And he has been drawing the absolute best work of his life. So while I was digging through my many long boxes, I came across this Turok Dinosaur Hunter #1, and I thought, well, let's see how this stacks up against Doug Garrett's Lone Wolf issue #1 that was launched on Indiegogo last year and fulfilled earlier this year and took all of its readers by surprise. Quite a talented one, that Doug Garrett. It's the reason I teamed up with him for Legends of the Lone Wolf. So I figure, hey, let's look at some other Native American books, right? Obviously, as you can see, an amazing chromium cover, a little unique. This is actually embossed. You can feel the ridges on these dinos. And obviously the center chromium. We got some foil. It's kind of just the best of everything. It really it defines 90s gimmick covers, doesn't it? Okay. But then you get inside. And despite this Mega Man 5 advertisement, this comic book is a hot mess. It begins in Colombia, South America, June 1987. Visions, windows to the soul. The herbs and oils in the fire burn true, clearing my mind, cleansing my spirit. When the purification is done, I go to find my enemy. So here we get a little bit of a backstory on Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Perceptions swirl. I see younger days. Andar and I hunting the sagebrush desert north of the Rio Grande. It seems 100 years ago. And was. But how could we know then where that odd hole in the sandy soil would lead? We were looking for water. The cavern we found instead was vast. Its pathways twisted and random. We may have spent hours wandering those sunless tunnels. We may have spent days. But when at last we reached cavern's end, it became all too clear that time no longer held much meaning. And boom, they come out of this hole and they're in the land of the lost. Dinosaurs are fighting. The warriors of this lost land were taciturn and strong. Once we made peace, they were good companions. And here's a giant automobile with robots on it showing up. But life in our new home altered forever when invaders arrived from another cave and another world. The city they raised was majestic, but to build it they raped the land, taking ore and wood, leaving nothing but raw, poisoned earth. We rallied against them, of course, Andar and I taking command. But their weapons, greater than any shaman's magic, slaughtered us like dogs in a pen. Until a mighty champion from the plunderer's world, our own far future, we later learned, joined us. So this is Magnus, robot fighter. Magnus turned the tide, his courage and strength, helping to rout the invaders. But then not long after, God came. She called herself Mother God, and her palace appeared in a flash like fire from heaven. She spoke of bringing harmony to all existence, molding eternity under her benevolent control. She sought unity. And these are like the flashes from Solar Man of the Atom. Remember that? Yeah, okay, there they are. And this is the Rainbow Flag Palace, I guess. I don't know. I think this is is this comic book a symbol of the alt-right? I wonder. Naturally, Andar and I swore our allegiance. Only fools and white men deny the wisdom of gods. But wisdom can be false and divinity hollow. Sent to slay two of Mother God's enemies, I soon found myself listening to them instead. And it's Archer and Armstrong. The one called Archer pointed out the evil being done in Mother God's name, and I realized that nothing holy would sanction those acts. Such exquisite cruelty could only be wrought by human beings. Alliances changed. My warriors fought against Mother God, side by side with superhuman soldiers from time. The odds of victory began to shift. But in the furor, I lost track of Andar, and one day, when I returned to camp after a fruitless search, I found that Mother God's anger had gotten there before me. Technologically enhanced monsters had butchered my adopted tribe, every man, woman, and child. And here we see some dinosaurs with the little monitoring tracking devices strapped to their heads, eating people. I think it's Soylent Green, but it's not. It's people! The leader of the assassins called himself Monarch, and I vowed that his death would be my life. I tracked him and his mate relentlessly, and was ready to take his black heart. At the very instant the war was won, and the world ended. When awareness returned, I found myself in yet another time, different from, yet similar to, those I'd known before. I accepted that Andar was lost to me forever, but still I had purpose. The spoor I found was unmistakable. The hunt would continue. Monarch walks this land. So this is a good point to pause for a second and talk about how this makes absolutely no sense to a brand new reader. See, this is an issue number 1. And what we're supposed to learn in an issue number 1, as Stan Lee taught us, is the origin of the damn character. So it starts with us, he's a Native American in 1987. Or is he a Colombian? I don't know what he even is. He looks like a Native American, but he's in Colombia, South America, so he has no place being there. He goes into this tunnel with another Native American, and they come out in the land of the lost. And then Magnus shows up, and then Mother God, whoever that is, shows up, and then Archer and Armstrong show up, and then Exo, Manowar, and Rye, and Shadow Man show up. And if I'm a new reader, I don't know who the hell any of these people are. This makes no sense to any new reader. I was completely confused. Even though I know who all these characters are, I was completely confused as to what was happening here. And I'm positive that any reader would be, because you don't know these characters. This backstory makes absolutely no sense. The dialogue is fine, but our writer, Dave Michelini, has really done a disservice to any reader. And I feel like I was duped as a kid out of $3.50 by this gimmick cover. So this is a perfect example for all you young people out there on how to not write a comic. If you want a good example on how to write a comic featuring a Native American character, you need to pick up Lone Wolf issue number 1. You can get it right now on Indiegogo, bundled together with the 80-page Monster Legends of the Lone Wolf anthology book. But I digress, because you can, if you still have a Sega CD, you can make your own music video. If you think you have what it takes to edit, mix, and create your own explosive, high-impact, incredibly cool, absolutely new music videos for mega rap act Crisscross and global supergroup CNC Music Factory, what are you waiting for? Just lock and load one of our revolutionary new compact discs into your Sega CD. Strap yourself in and get ready to experience a massive rush of intensive wall-to-wall sound, digitized live-action video, and in-your-face challenges by real artists or a celebrity VJ. All you need to make your own headbanging videos is awesome talent and lightning-fast reflexes. You control it all as you select, edit, slice, and dice. You're working with hundreds of clips from real music videos, movies, and never-before-seen video footage, all in sync with dizzying special effects, and the hottest, freshest music ever. Wrap it up and get your grade straight from the VJ or the artist themselves. Crisscross and CNC Music Factory, 2 revolutionary interactive music videos from Sony ImageSoft for Sega CD. Now, if you're not familiar with the Sega CD, it was a separate console that you would buy and you would hook it into your Sega Genesis. It would slide into some ports on the side of your Sega Genesis. And all of a sudden, you'd be rocking a revolutionary compact disc. CNC Music Factory was great. Crisscross was great. If you're not familiar with Crisscross, allow me to explain. Don't try to compare them to another bad little fad. He's the Mac and he's back, give you something that you never had. He'll make you jump, wiggle and shake your rump, because he's a sucker that be making these ninjas want to jump. How high? Real high, and he's just so fly. A young, lovable, hunkable type of guy. They were two, 12 or 13-year-old boys who wore their clothes backwards and rapped. They also did a really awesome Sprite commercial. Check it out, the S to the P-R-I-T-E can. The visions fade, my sense is clear, I am ready, but that sour smell, the dull snap of a branch underfoot, I was wrong. It seems I won't go to find my enemy. There's no need. My enemy has found me, and he's got a mouthful of chocolate milk. At first, I thought that he tore the flesh off of Turok's back, and then I realized, no, it's just slavering chocolate milk. You got me. And perhaps the strangest thing is these are like dinosaurs from higher, from Malibu. They can talk. Yes, Turok, flee, for on this day the hunter becomes the hunted. I did not realize that snakes descended from dinosaurs, or is this maybe Fulsa Doom from Conan the Barbarian has taken over these dinosaurs, the snake people? You never seen Conan the Barbarian. Stop watching this review and go watch that. Mother God's bow, its arrows do more than cut, even to an abomination like Monarch. No, too swift, neck twisting out of the way, like a snake. I've killed a tree! Wah, wah. So environmentally friendly. Another arrow before. Wait, behind me. I'm a fool! Monarch isn't alone! Hiss! He slices his back open. Yag! The monster's mate found this world too. With how many others? How many? And they're battling at the very edge of this giant cliff. I'll never know. The lizard's weight crumbled the cliff edge. And even the strongest brave can't stay the earth's pull. Great spirit, take me into your lodge. And he falls into the water. This reminds me of that episode of Full House where they went to Hawaii and Jesse jumped off the waterfall because he loved Becky so much. Do you remember that one? The hunter is dead, and soon the rest of the soft skins will follow. Humans, there's the soft skins. Hours later, a half-mile down the Orindes River tributary. Great spirit, you toy with me. Turok lives, but I've lost much blood. Head feels full of fur. Full of fur? Okay. Otherwise, I would have seen that shadow long before what makes it got so close. Monarch, you've come to finish me. See the shadow cast here? Then get it done. But as you tear my head from my neck, I'll spit in your... No, beast? I'm falling unconscious. Secret weapons. Another crappy Valiant comic, I'm sure. A villa in the hills above Medellin. Evening. Now we've gone to Colombia. You know what I'm saying, Tony Montana? I've seen enough of the night, Carlos. Let's go inside and enjoy each other's darkness, Rosa, you're insatiable. Gracias. El Jefe! Trouble! The convoy is under attack! What? Gold crossed the usual palms. That cocaine should reach the coast safely. Give me the radio. No! Get away! Monsters! Blam! Kapow! Pow! Aye! Alberto, bring me my guns! I just want you to tell me in the comments below how you feel about this scene in Medellin. Does any of this make sense? I have no idea what is happening here, but I secretly love it. A small village in the Colombian jungle. Morning. What? Get away! You're a pretty woman! It's like Ethan Van Sciver with a dame who sent him nudie pics. If you haven't seen that Cyberfrog review, now would be the time to check it out. Lay back, please, you're hurt. You must rest. And she's speaking in her own language. And for some reason, Turok knows the language also. I've a demon to kill. I'll rest when he's in pieces. You speak our language. That sorceress mother god taught me many things, but the greatest wisdom is often that gained by experience. Perhaps I will rest a bit after all and fall down again. He's a very sleepy dinosaur hunter. She's not just one of the boys. Hotshot joins the hardcore, or as Barack Obama would call it, the hard corpse. And the team will never be the same. Deathmate, you can watch my hour-long masterpiece review of that little gem that almost killed me to read. So the days pass and Turok heals and he finds an attraction to this dame, but he still's got to go fight the dinosaurs. And here she is throwing her hair back very sexily, but she kind of looks gross here. That ass, though. Oh no, there's a jaguar that's gonna get her. Shoot it! Ah! You bury an offering? We must apologize to the cat for killing it, and thank the gods for providing us with meat. You're a noble man, Turok. You honor my people. And me. So is he gonna bury it, or is he gonna cut it up and eat it? Or is he gonna cut it up and eat it and then bury it? I don't know. This is the one comic from Valiant that I actually want to read because this is such an intriguing title. The Second Life of Dr. Mirage. And this character just, I don't know, it just looks different. Elsewhere in the jungle, you know, the dinosaurs are eating people. And then Turok's finding the dinosaurs and fighting the dinosaurs. And he's fighting them and fighting them and fighting them and fighting them. And then he has to leave because, oh no, the more dinosaurs will come and eat your people. And so now she's sad in this very forced relationship that didn't have very much depth written into it. Next, the Monarch quest continues. Not for me, because I'm not going to read any more Turok. See, originally Turok was a Gold Key Comics character, the same as Magnus, Robot Fighter. And how this can be Turok #1, but we got all this weird stuff going on in the back with all these other Valiant characters. I don't know. I'm at a complete loss at what's going on in this comic book. I could not tell you. It was terrible. Exo Manowar issue #0, not so much. This was good. This was surprisingly good. There is a review of it. You can go watch it. It made me an Exo Manowar fan, which I did not think I would come, you know. If I was to go back to being a little kid reading comic books, this is not a comic book I thought I would have enjoyed. But as an adult, yeah, I've been enjoying this. Kind of hard to track down issue #1. I might have to go to mycomicshop.com to get that. Issues 8 and up seem to be readily available in back issue bins all over the place. So, despite being drawn by Bart Sears, this comic book just fell flat because Dave Michelini just doesn't seem to know what he's doing. This would have made a fine issue 5. It's like an issue you would have picked up after there was this story arc with all this stuff with Magnus and Exo Manowar and Rai and all these characters showing up, Archer and Armstrong. There was some massive battle that happened, but they never once put a little asterisk anywhere and then mention it down here. Oh, see Valiant Crappy Comic #16. But anyways, you're going to want to accept no substitutes. They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Many Valiant fans write in and ask us if we're flattered by the sincerity of the competition these days. Here's how I answer them. I'm very proud that we helped return the trend to reader-friendly superhero comics. Prior to Valiant, montage storytelling with convoluted continuity was the norm, not the exception to the rule. I found it fairly disheartening to watch aesthetic values of art and story, taught to me by the likes of Wally Wood, disappear from the marketplace. So, we set out to change that trend. Valiant's approach was a simple one. Stress story first. That didn't actually happen in this issue of Turok, though, bud. Stress story first and combine it with compatible art that told the same story. Then set all of it in a credible universe that readers could relate to. Not a world filled with cyborgs, mutants, aliens, and an absence of real people, but a place where normal human beings live side by side with the strange and fantastic. Next, we set out to promote our books with the most innovative marketing and sales campaigns the industry has ever seen. We viewed our readers, our retailers, and our distributors as partners. Well, when Diamond's taking 40% of everything you make, I'd say that they're your partner. We began special origin issues numbered Issue 0. We offered gold logo edition books free of charge to fans and retailers who help us promote and support Valiant. We gave retailers preview posters that actually allowed you to see what you were going to buy before you bought it. And we were the first to offer coupon redemption programs to reward our readers for supporting a new Valiant title. Our approach was successful, and now many others try to mimic our success. Well, Image Comics. But do you know what the real secret of our success is? I'm going to let you in on it. We are a team. It's that simple. Patterned after the big studios of the 40s and 50s, all of Valiant's talented crew contribute to our overall success. Colorists and letterers help concoct new marketing ideas. Marketing and salespeople contribute terrific concepts for new characters. Interns suggest little bits of continuity from book to book. In essence, we are a family business. We consider you, the reader, as part of the family. We try to produce comics that all of us enjoy reading. No one person can instantly create a tight, cohesive universe alone. Where would Stan Lee and Jack Kirby have been without the input of Steve Ditko, Don Heck, Dick Ayers, Larry Lieber, or Flo Steinberg? It requires teamwork, and that is the real secret to Valiant success. We'll always have the passion and dedication to our readers because everybody at Valiant shares the same vision. We want to produce the best comics on the market. We're the innovators, not the imitators. That's what sets us apart from the competition. Image Comics. So accept no substitutes. The Valiant era of comics is here to stay. Except it wasn't. Acclaim bought it and shut it down. End of story. Now it's back. People actually say the new Valiant's pretty good. Sting versus Harada, and only one will survive. You know, I prefer the bleached blonde Sting, not the Crow Sting, and certainly not this weird variant Sting from another universe. The first CD-ROM game in a cartridge. That doesn't make any sense, but it's Flashback. Maybe we can make it make sense. Let's see. Flashback, the first game ever to pump awesome high-octane CD-ROM performance from a cartridge. The action screams along at 24 frames per second, just like movie animation. And after each level, the game moves along with animated sequences that are straight out of Hollywood. Excellent! The plot? You play the part of Conrad Hart, a GBI agent in training. You stumble on a bizarre alien plot to conquer the Earth. Now you've got to outwit and combat droves of replicants, deadly aliens, traps, and other stuff too weird for words. No problem for a pro like you. Not. Still not convinced? Then check it out at your local game habitat. Flashback. It's like putting your Genesis into warp drive. Okay. Oh, Alien 3. What an abortion. So there you go. That's Turok Dinosaur Hunter #1. It leaves a lot to be desired and is a great example for any young writers out there how to not make a comic book. If you want an example of how to make a comic book, you need to go to Indiegogo right now while you still have time. Pick up The Legends of the Lone Wolf and Lone Wolf issue #1 bundle. It's super cheap. 80 pages, only $20, plus another $5 if you want that issue #1. Get it now and support your main man, Crypto Comics. See you tomorrow with another Native American comic book.